For the National Assembly this afternoon is the ratification of the Kigali amendments on the Montreal Protocol on the substances as well as the deplete of the ozone layer. This is a motion that will be moved by the Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Matters Forestry, Environment and Mining. The Statute Laws Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 60 of the year 2022 is a bill at the second stage, a bill by the leader of Majority Party, and we expect members of the National into this miscellaneous bill. The United Nations Convention Against Global Parliamentary Against Corruption meeting is a motion that by the leader of the delegation that we expect members of the National Assembly to consider this afternoon, and a report on this particular convention against matters corruption was laid on the table of the House on the 26th of April. The year is 2023. The business of the National Assembly is just about to commence. And remember, you can follow up on this live broadcast on our YouTube channels. That is Assembly. Honorable Moses Wetangula is in the chambers this afternoon. He will be business of the National Assembly today. Allow me to hand over for the live proceedings and broadcast of this National Assembly proceedings today. Enjoy your viewing and good afternoon.
Waheshimiwa, na tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu. Twakusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao wameridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Twakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikisha mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao haja zao umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Honorable members, we have quorum to transact business. Clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable member, take your seat. Honorable members have a communication on the consideration of the privatization bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2023. Honorable members, you recall that during the afternoon sitting of Tuesday, 13th June 2023, the Minority Whip, the Honorable Junet Mohammed CBS MP, rose on a point of order and sought the indulgence of the Chair on the manner in which the Privatization National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2023 should be considered by the committees of the House. The Honorable Minority Whip was of the view that the public participation to be conducted on the bill, which I refer to the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning, ought to be done jointly with the Public Debt and Privatization Committee. I did undertake to provide some direction on this. The Privatization Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2023, was published on 24th May 2023 and is sponsored by the leader of the majority party, the Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, MGH MP. The principal objective of the bill is to provide a revised regulatory framework for privatization of public entities to improve the efficiency and competitiveness of Kenya's productive resources. The bill further seeks to provide for the coordination and oversight of privatization matters. Standing Order 216 establishes the departmental committees of the House and assigns them specific functions. Paragraph 5C of the Standing Order expressly provides that a departmental committee shall study and review all legislation referred to it. Additionally, Standing Order 127.1 provides that a bill, having been read a first time, shall stand committed to the relevant departmental committee. As such, Standing Order 127, as read together with Standing Order 216.5, requires the committal of a bill for scrutiny and conduct of public participation to a departmental committee by default. This is primarily informed by the sector-specific and subject matter mandate assigned to each departmental committee by Standing Order 216.5C and the second schedule to the standing orders. Nevertheless, honorable members, the House has established exceptions to this rule through precedent and practice. The Speaker has referred bills to select committees of the House for scrutiny in specific instances. A case in point is the practice of the House of referring any proposal to amend the National Government Constituency Development Fund to the Select Committee on NGCDF. The decision is informed by the specialized mandate and functions assigned to the Select Committee and the unique background and content of the proposals in the bill. Members, take the nearest seat. The nearest seat. I think Honorable Mbande and I attended different English schools. Indeed, honorable members, we recall that at the beginning of this 13th Parliament, I did refer the Statutory Instruments Amendment Bill 2022, the Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Amendment Bill 2022, the Petitions to Parliament Procedures Amendment Bill 2022, and the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill 2022, which are sponsored by the Deputy Speaker, the Honorable Gladys Boss, MGH MP, to the Procedure and House Rules Committee, owing to their unique background. The four bills all sought to implement various recommendations made during the review of the standing orders at the tail end of the 12th Parliament. Similarly, honorable members, I recently referred the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 16 of 2023, sponsored by the leader of the majority party, to the Public Debt and Privatization Committee. Ordinarily, an amendment to the Public Finance Management Act falls squarely within the mandate of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. In that case, the referral to the Public Debt Committee was informed by the contents of the bill, which seek to operationalize the framework for monitoring the level of public debt. You will agree with me that the House will greatly benefit from a scrutiny of the bill by a committee that specifically deals with the issue of debt. Honorable members, the second schedule of the standing order outlines the subject matter mandates of departmental committees. The schedule outlines the subjects falling under the mandate of the departmental committees on finance and national planning, committee as public finance, public audit policies, monetary policies, financial institutions, excluding those in securities exchange, economy, investment policies, competition, banking, insurance, national statistics, population, revenue policies, including taxation, national planning and development, digital finance, including digital currency. The mandate of the committee is sector-wide and allows it to exhaustively consider finance-related matters, including legislation. On the other hand, Standing Order 207A establishes and outlines the functions the Public Debt and Privatization Committee. Paragraph 2F mandates the committee to oversight the privatization of national assets. The mandate of the Public Debt Committee with regard to the privatization is narrower when compared to the mandate of the Departmental Committee, whereas the Departmental Committee is mandated to consider all aspects relating to public investments. The Public Debt Committee is only mandated to oversight any proposed plan to privatize national assets. Pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 127.1 as read together with Standing Order 216.5c, I'm of the view that the consideration of the Privatization Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2023 and facilitation of public participation on the bill falls squarely and exclusively within the mandate of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. Standing Order 127.3 allows a committee to which a bill is referred to consult experts on technical subjects while facilitating public participation. I urge the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning to invoke this provision, extend an invitation to their counterparts, and consider their technical input as part of the public participation exercise. That, in conclusion, I guide as follows: that Standing Order 127, as read together with Standing Order 216.5, requires the committal of a bill for scrutiny and conduct of public participation to a departmental committee by default. That, as an exception to the rule in one above, the House has referred certain bills to select committees on account of the specialized mandate and functions assigned to the select committee and the unique background and content of the proposals in the bill. This informed the recent referral of the Public Finance Management Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bills number 16 of 2023, to the Public Debt and Privatization Committee. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 127.1, as read together with Standing Order 216.5c, consideration of the Privatization Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2023, and the facilitation of public participation on the bill falls squarely and exclusively in the mandate of the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning. In its consideration of the Privatization Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2023, the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning is at liberty to invoke the provisions of 127.3 and invite the Debt and Privatization Committee to share any technical input. I thank you. Next order.
Order number 3, messages.
Order, honorable members, take your seats. Take your seats. Honorable member, take your seats. Order, Honorable Koech. Honorable members, I have a message from the Senate. Honorable Koech and colleagues, take the nearest seats. Order. Order, honorable members. Honorable members, As a message from the Senate, the passage of 3 Senate bills. Honorable members, pursuant to Standing Order 41-1 of the National Assembly orders, I wish to report to the House that on 19th June 2023, I received 3 messages from the Senate regarding passage of the following Senate bills. 1, the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2023. 2, the County Vocational Education and Training Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2022. Order, honorable members. Order. And 3, the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2023. Honorable members, the first message relates to the passage of the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2023, published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 7 of 31st January 2023. The bill seeks to authorize the issuance of a sum of money out of the Equalization Fund and its application towards the service of the year ending 30th June 2023 and to appropriate the said sums for certain public basic services in marginalized zones. In the message, the Senate on Tuesday, 6th June 2023, considered and passed the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2023 without amendments. Honorable members, the second message relates to the passage of the County Vocational Education and Training Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2022, published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 162 of 26 October 2023. The bill seeks to provide a framework for the establishment of systems for the administration of training in vocational education and training within the county. The message conveys that on Tuesday, 6th June 2023, the Senate considered and passed the County Vocational Education and Training Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2022 without amendments. The third message, honorable members, relates to the passage of the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2023, published via Kenya Gazette Supplement number 52 of 27th April 2023. The County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2023, seeks to provide for the equitable allocation of revenue raised nationally among the county governments for the financial year 2023-24, as well as define the corresponding responsibilities of the national and county governments in connection to the said allocation. The message conveys that on Thursday, 15 June 2023, the Senate considered and passed the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2023 with amendments. Honorable members, having considered and passed the 3 bills, the Senate now seeks the concurrence of the National Assembly on each of the bills, pursuant to Article 110 and 111 of the Constitution, and Standing Orders 46-1 and 116 of the Senate Standing Orders. The standing orders require the Speaker to cause a bill received from the Senate to be read a first time upon conveyance of its message. In this regard, you will notice that the 2 bills have been listed for first reading in the order paper for this particular sitting. After being read a first time, the bills will stand committed to respective committees as follows. The County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2023, and the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2023, will stand committed to the Budget and Appropriations Committee for consideration, and the County Vocational Education and Training Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2022, stands referred to the Departmental Committee on Education. You will agree with me that the 2 bills, the Equalization Fund Appropriation Bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2023, and the County Allocation of Revenue Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2023, relate to the budget process. In this regard, they ought to be prioritized for consideration. Honorable members, you may therefore have noticed that the 2 bills have been listed for first reading in the order paper for this afternoon sitting. Owing to the urgency of the two bills, I urge the committee to prioritize the bill in its agenda and report to the House as soon as is practicable. The reports shall guide the House with respect to the next stages and prioritization of the two bills. The House is accordingly guided. I thank you. Members, take your seats. Yes, Jared, what is out of order?
Really, nothing out of order. Everything is in order, Honorable Speaker. But Honorable Speaker, the Constitution did come up with the Equalization Fund. And if we read that Constitution properly, it was also time-bound. It has been 10 years since the advent of county governments, Honorable Speaker. And we also have 10 more years before the end of Equalization Fund, Mr. Speaker. What did happen, Honorable Speaker, are that there were two warring factions on who to implement issues of Equalization Fund, Honorable Speaker. The county governments thought that that was money which was meant to be sent to those respective counties that qualified for Equalization Fund. Yet again, through line ministries, the executive thought that that was money that was to be controlled by the executive through respective line ministries, Honorable Speaker. This matter did go to court, and I'm not sure whether determination has already been made by the court of law as to who should implement these funds, Honorable Speaker. Because again, the idea behind the Equalization Fund was to bring everybody at par in terms of development, Honorable Speaker. But if we have had an inordinate delay for 10 years, and the Equalization Fund was to last 20 years, so we only have 10 years to go if that constitutional dictate is anything to go by, Mr. Speaker. So I do not know whether the courts have already pronounced themselves on this subject, and if so, who will then be implementing all the projects under Equalization Fund, Honorable Speaker, and I thank you.
Thank you, Honorable. Order, Honorable members. Order. Order. I can fully appreciate the levels of excitement in the House. Honorable Jared Okello has raised a very important point. Equalization Fund, for those of us who participated in the drafting and promulgation of the 2010 Constitution, was never meant to be a devolved fund. It was never meant to be a devolved fund. It was a fund that also had a sunset of 20 years. 10 years have gone without the money being put to any use because of the ping pong between this House and the Senate. Each House wanting to be the anchor for the fund. We also had some dysfunctional activities in the national government on this fund. It was originally meant to benefit counties that were presumed and believed to be marginalized, particularly in the northern Kenya. Eventually, it was decided by this House and the Senate and the CRA that the fund will be applied to pockets of marginalization in all counties of the country as they were identified. In fact, the area of focus became the sublocation. So they have spread the money so thin across the country, from Nairobi to Mandera, from Nairobi to Turkana, from Nairobi to Homa Bay to Migori, to everywhere. So now that the fund is available and you have only 10 years to go, I want to encourage this House, because this is a national government fund, to ensure that once this bill is passed and ascended through, you have this money go to the ground to benefit the marginalized people. You also know that under the Constitution, and the senior Amolo can bear me in this, we defined which areas of intervention this fund was to go to. It was not to go to anything and everything. But I get the impression that it has now been whittled down to go to anything and everything, which again, as a House, you have a duty to ensure that marginalization means marginalization, and the marginalized means the marginalized, and not everybody else. Thank you, Carol. On the same issue, yes, Junet?
Mr. Speaker, this is a very important bill, as you said, and it's a very important bill that many Kenyans have been waiting for. But Mr. Speaker, now that we are seized of the bill, I want to urge the House to look at this bill critically. Mr. Speaker, as you've just alluded to, the way they have crafted the manner in which the money is supposed to be shared, Mr. Speaker, is really shocking. I don't know whether it has come to your attention, whether you have seen. Even sublocations that will not receive rain for 2 months qualify to be marginalized, Mr. Speaker. Some of them are inside Nairobi here. I don't know how a sublocation in Nairobi can be marginalized, Mr. Speaker. It is really shocking. Those people who did that division, how to divide the money, Mr. Speaker, how can you be marginalized in Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, of all places? You can be hungry in Nairobi and you need food, stipend, and such things. But in the sense of marginalization, you can't be marginalized in Nairobi. So, Mr. Speaker, there was a sinister motive. Actually, what caused the delay for the last 10 years, there were people who have refused to let go that money, Mr. Speaker. And they know themselves. I don't need to mention names on the floor of the House. They refused to let go. Mr. Speaker, when this country got the new constitution and went to the devolved system, Mr. Speaker, people realized that now that there is equitable revenue share, it was in the vision of the makers of the Constitution that those people who will not get enough revenue in the equitable sharing, this equalization fund can be used to uplift their standards, Mr. Speaker. It was an intervention fund. It was not an entitled fund. Now people are turning it to a fund that is entitled to everyone. Mr. Speaker, I just want to put on record that the way it was being done was wrong, and the House must look at it this time fresh, Mr. Speaker, and then the people who deserve it must get it, Mr. Speaker. I'm told even Githunguri has been listed as a marginalized place. There's nothing like that.
Order, honorable members. We rarely open a message from the other house for debate, and we'll leave it there. The bill is listed for first reading. It will come for second reading shortly. And those of you with strong views on the issue, be ready to debate the bill. But as I told you, the delay in the disbursement is because of the ping pong between many players, including this House. Honorable members, allow me to recognize a delegation from the National Assembly of the Republic of South Africa. I wish to introduce to you a delegation from the National Assembly of the Republic of South Africa who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. The delegation comprises members of the Chief Whips Forum. They are Ms. Penny Majodina MP, Chief Whip in the Majority Party and leader of the delegation, Ms. Mamtulala Boroto MP, House Chairperson, Internal Arrangements, National Assembly, Dr. Gerdas Koenhoff MP, Parliamentary Counselor to the President, Ms. Siviwe Gwarube MP, Chief Whip of the Opposition Party, DA, Mr. Stephen Swart MP, ACDP, Mr. Ngaboyomzi Kwamka MP, UDM, Mr. Ahmed Shaikh Imam MP, NFP. Honorable members, the delegation is accompanied by 3 parliamentary officers. The delegation is on a visit to benchmark with their counterparts in the leadership offices and to explore ways to enhance their work as party functionaries and office bearers. Honourable members, on my own behalf and that of the National Assembly, I welcome the delegation to Parliament and wish them fruitful engagement and during their stay in the country. I thank you.
Order number 4, papers. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Majority Leader.
Give the mic. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, 20th June 2023. 1. Legal notice number 75 of 2023 relating to the mining, gemstone identification and value addition fees regulation 2023 and the explanatory memorandum from the Ministry of Mining, Blue Economy and Maritime Affairs. 2. Reports of the Auditor General and financial statements for Kenya National Commission for UNESCO mortgage scheme for the year ended 30th June 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019 and 2020. 3. Report of the Auditor General and financial statements for African Organization of Public Accounts Committee, AFROPAC, for the year ended 31st December 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, and 2021. Reports of the Auditor General of Financial Statements for Kenya National Commission for UNESCO Mortgage and Car Loan Scheme for the year ended 30th June 2021 and 2022. 5. Annual reports and financial statements for Capital Markets Authority for the period from 1st July 2021 to 30th June 2022. 6. Reports of the Audit General and financial statements in respect of the following institutions for the year ended 30th June 2022 and certificates therein. A. National Mining Corporation, Kenya Water Institute, Rural Electrification and Renewable Energy Corporation, Council of Legal Education, Agricultural Finance Corporation, Kenya Animal Genetic Resources, Agricultural Development Corporation ADC, and Agricultural Finance Corporation AFC Development Limited Liability Partnership, Commission for University Education Staff Car Loan and Mortgage Scheme Fund, TVET Curriculum Development Assessment and Certificates Council, and Certification Council, TVET CDACC, School Equipment Production Unit, Kenya Education Management Institute, Commission for University Education, National Council for Nomadic Education in Kenya, Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development, Kenya Scouts Association, and lastly, Kabete National Polytechnic. I thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I beg to lay.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Chairperson, Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning, and Public Works.
Thank you, Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Tuesday, June 20, 2023. A report of the Departmental Committee on Housing, Urban Planning, and Public Works on its consideration of the National Construction Authority Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 59 of 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Johanna. The Chairperson, Public Investments Committee on Governance and Education. Give the honourable member.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the House today, Tuesday, the 20th June 2023. Number 1, first report of the Public